Bonjour tout le monde. Hello everybody. Welcome back to the Brick reading vlogs. This is the July wrap up of what I've read. Spoiler filled. It's just so I can know what I've actually read. I didn't do any updates this month because it was a very bad month. But I am here now, also belated into August, telling you about what I read in Les Misérables by Victor Hugo for that month. That was a very wop and windy introduction, but here goes. Anyway, I'm just going to sort of be quite bland, I guess. But we left Marius penniless at the end of June. And then he starts going to the Luxembourg Gardens, or the Jardin de Luxembourg, and he sees like this old man with white hair and this younger girl with him, and then sort of like, I think maybe like a year or so goes by, or like half a year, and then she's sort of like become more like going through her adolescence. I'm not sure how old she is. I'm gonna guess about 14ish maybe. And he like thinking she looks like quite pretty and things, and then he like keeps going back like every day to like see her, and they called him out of the white hair Monsieur Leblanc, I believe. Yeah. But I don't know her name. And he goes like during time, putting like on a nice like shirt and stuff, and like people are like, oh, what's happening, like is he going to see like what's going on with Marius? And he's sort of like falling for her, and she sort of like does like it with a smile and stuff sometimes, and then he finds out that one of them like left a handkerchief, like a something, and has a U on it, and he thinks that like it must be her, so he's like smelling it and stuff. But it isn't. It's actually Old Time, who is the John Valjean, the name he chose to be the brother of the caretaker, sort of gardener of the church that he was at when we last left him. But he thinks the U is for Ursula, and that's what he starts calling this girl. And well, I mean, we're not told it's Old Time, but like it obviously is. And then I think like this bit kind of annoyed me that he sees like a gust of wind sort of like going up like the girl's dress, and then he gets like angry. He's like, oh, like someone could have sawn you or something. And I'm just like, Marius, I thought like you were a bit more better, like it's not her fault, is it? Anyway, goes along, and then I think that like the Monsieur Leblanc Valjean like finds out that like he sort of like wants to like talk with the girl or his daughter, and stuff like that, and then they sort of like go off, and he doesn't like see him again, and then I think he either like follows them or something. He finds out like where they're meant to be living, and he's like, oh, who lives here, like what's the name? And the person's like, well, I'll tell you. And he comes, and then a few more days later, and then they still haven't come to the Luxembourg Gardens, so he goes back, and then the like warden person at like the place that they live says that they're not there anymore, they've like just left suddenly. So he's like, oh well, hey ho. And he's like down and stuff because he was falling for her. It was a little bit like, it was like a bit like cute, because like you was like seeing like how like he's like trying to have feelings and things, but at the same time it's a little bit stalkerish, because like he's literally just like coming there every day just to look at her, and sort of like trying to like get closer each day, like on different benches and things, and then obviously going to her house and stuff. But like, I mean, yeah, I don't know. And then afterwards we learn about sort of like the criminal underbelly of Paris, and like these four like main sort of like people that are like instrumental to the crime and the goings-ons, and a bit more about sort of like that seediness. And then Marius is like walking through an alleyway, and these two like young women, girls, sort of like run by and drop something, and they say something about like the cops or something, and he picks up this pack of like letters, takes them back, and he reads them, and they're all sort of like writing in the same handwriting, but addressed to like different like benefactors and people that could possibly have money, asking for like help or like some stuff, things like that, but they're from like a different name. And then I think like another day or a few bit after, Marius is in his like apartment, and the next door neighbor, the John Duretts, right? Is that, yeah, I think that's what they called, but I'm like, you're the Fernandez, aren't you? The girl, Epony, but I don't think she's actually given her name yet. I just know from afterwards. And the younger one's Azella, I think. I'm not sure. But she like comes and she's like, I think she like asks for like a coin or something, or something like that. She asks for a bit of money, and she's like starts talking. And this is important for the next month's update, is that she like writes something about someone's coming or something like that, and then she like goes and she's just like talking about like the dire like strait they're in, and she finds out that they're their letters, and the father wrote them to different people because of like the situation and like needing money and like poverty, and like it does actually like touch it, because even though I don't like this family because of what the parents had done, like you do get touched by like the way she's presenting her like life, and the sadnesses that's apparent in it. But yeah, and then I think she likes him as well, I'm not sure, but she goes, and then it's a little bit hard to remember because I obviously didn't do proper updates, but he finds like a peephole in his room that he can see into the John Duretts, and they're getting ready to like have a visitor welcome coming in through one of the letters he's written out, and he is talking about like, I don't know if he's talking, I think I no, he's just talking, or he has actually like, or it's just, no, I think it's like the author talking, but is about like the place of them and like the conditions, but there's a quote I wanted to share because it's like, I think that's how much I read in June, I'm not sure, I missed a couple of days as well, but I did get back on track. I don't know, this is a little bit messy, isn't it? But I love like when this happens in books. Let me read the quote to you. Where the unfortunate and the infamous are grouped together, merged in a single fateful word. They are les misérables, the outcasts, the underdogs, and who is to blame? Is it not the most fallen who have the most need of charity? Because that's obviously what he's asking for. I love it when the book you're reading has the title in somewhere in the pages. But yeah, so basically this person comes, and John Durett is sort of like making up lies, a bit like the actual, like how much money he needs. Like he said, like, I haven't paid my rent for like 3 quarters or something, when Marius actually paid it like before, and like they're not that bad, but like and he's just like saying how it's like freezing cold, he can't get a job and things like that, and then the man is like, oh, I'll come back at 6, I think, that day, and I'll bring with you the money you need, and he leaves his coat and things, and this man, he comes with his daughter. I think you know who it is. It is Monsieur Leblanc, or, you know, Valjean, and then John Durrett is saying like, oh, like, did you see him? Like, okay, I've got a plan. I need to get things together. I need to meet with people. I need to, you know, get on my wits, and get ready to something when he comes back. Then Marius is like, oh, that might be my last chance of like seeing Ursula. And he sort of like runs up and then like he sees the car go off, and then the girl Epony says like, oh, do you need any help or something, things like that. He, I think, like asks her to find like where she lives. And I think that's where I got to the end of July. I'm not 100% sure. I might have actually read a bit more into what I'm going to talk about in August. But I hope you enjoyed this video nonetheless. I don't know. Anywho, have a nice morning, even night, wherever you are in the world. And I shall see you very soon. Salut!